Today we have a very special guest. I know I say that all the time, but we truly do. We have Dr. 𝑼𝑺𝑬 𝙑𝑀𝑠. Did I say it correctly? I did, right?
Oh, Lambaer, like a lamb and a bear.
Okay. She is just so vibrant, so magnetic. She is raw vegan. She is one of the biggest videos on my YouTube channel, and that was just a Zoom. So this will be in person. You guys are going to want to watch to the end. She has so much depth to her, so spiritual. And just meeting you in person, you were so high vibe. And you were a raw vegan. I know, I don't think you like the label, but. And you were 64 years young.
Young. Very good. 64.
And you were just had this energy from you. Johnny the Juicer was just here. And
we had so much fun.
He was like your energy. Like, you've got this energy. I love it. And would you attribute that to the raw living foods partly?
Absolutely. I'm going to give you guys a little story. It's like if you had a saxophone. I don't know if I said this in my last interview, but I really want to say it again. If I know some very beautiful musicians. If you took a saxophone player, beautiful saxophone, either the straight or the sexy one like this.
Yeah.
If you took that and you clogged it full of junk, no matter how talented she or he is.
Wow.
Nothing can play through it because it's full of junk. Right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So think about it. It's the same thing with us. The divine wants to play through us. Look at how you guys, she's amazing. You are more beautiful in person.
Thank you. You are. Thanks.
That's the best compliment. It's if someone says that to you, you're more beautiful and compliment.
Thanks.
That's your energy.
Yeah,
That's
it's the energy.
So when someone says that, it's a really beautiful compliment.
And I love that metaphor that you just said. That's what I love about you. Just your interview had so much engagement. There's just so many aha moments with you. You're so incredible. There's just so much. So in this video, we're going to do, there's just so much I could go through, but we're going to do 10 questions. We have 10 amazing questions from my viewers. So I'll start with those.
I love it.
Yeah. And then I'll probably end up asking you a bunch more because I just want to ask you things too. So the first one is, if I want to start a raw vegan diet tomorrow, how do I get started? What is your advice?
Okay. That's a great question. Okay. Let's just think about this for a second. Some people go cold turkey.
Yeah.
And I think the answer to really serve the people who are asking the question, the answer lies in who they are and how they like to do things. Mm-hmm. So what I would do is I would tell them, start with a juice in the morning. So here's the thing. We want to start in the morning because when we go to sleep, our whole system, our whole energy, we literally go into sleep with the divine. Que duermos con los angelitos. Is that right? Sleep with the baby angels. That's a saying. Que duermos con los angelitos. It's a saying that my friend from Colombia taught me. Que duermo con los angelitos means sleep with the baby angels.
Wow.
Which is beautiful, right? And so if you think about it, every time we go to sleep, all of the noise in our head gets quiet for just a minute. And so when we wake up, if we can wake up and just be able to put our focus and direction in the right way, which is why I say how we wake up in the morning is predicated upon how we go to sleep the night before.
So true.
So we're going to talk about how we can help them go to sleep in a way that is more life enhancing. So now you go into sleep and with the divine, you're in the beautiful astral plane. You're just doing all these beautiful things, healing. Your whole body is healing. Then you wake up, and then what you do is you set your course instead of going to get whatever people get, oatmeal. Don't get oatmeal.
Yeah, and that's how we create our life, right? Like how we feel when we fall asleep. We like that's where we work on our subconscious mind, right?
That's where everything heals too. It's where our sex hormones heal. It's where everything rejuvenates. It's where the cells of our body rejuvenate.
So it's very important what we focus on at that time.
Exactly, which we'll talk about that in a minute. So for them going raw vegan, if you can, before you go to sleep at night, do a beautiful meditation. And we can talk a little bit later about what those look like. And so you're going in, it's like you're buoying up yourself. You're kind of priming the pump for beautiful sleep. In my book, I call it juicy sleep.
I love it.
And juicy sleep is the sleep you get before midnight.
Yeah.
Because that's when the earlier you go to bed, the more beautiful sleep you're going to get.
Yeah.
That's why
your book's amazing. I'll put all your stuff below.
Thank you.
And I want to ask you too, like, where do you think you'd be right now if you didn't do this lifestyle? How long have you been raw?
Well, I've been raw since my 40s. So I guess 20 years now.
Wow.
But I started eating healthy and I started my I was always spiritual. So I want to say I started my spiritual path, but I started deepening my awareness. I started really connecting with my own consciousness and awareness. I started that when I was a kid. I started eating healthy when I was 8.
Yeah, wow.
I was just like, this isn't, like, I looked at that stuff and I was like, that's not good. That's not going to help this.
Amazing. That's so good you knew that.
I just knew it. And I didn't come from a family that was really, my dad still thinks dinner is it's a half a pint of ice cream and Oreos. Yeah. That's his dinner, or hot dog. Yeah. That's his dinner.
Yeah.
So, but to me, that doesn't nourish us. It doesn't. No. It doesn't.
And you feel so much better this way, right?
Oh my God! It gives you so much energy.
Yeah.
And for me, because I already have so much energy, it's just like, woo, gives me so this morning already I've had a raw green juice, I've had a celery juice, raw green juice, and a superfood smoothie.
Yeah, wow. And yeah, we're going to do a What Elizabeth Eats video. So if that's up already, I'll post it below. If not, then subscribe because it'll be coming soon.
But I'm so excited for us to get into the kitchen.
Me too. I can't wait. I'm so excited. And the next,
she's going to feed me.
So somebody was asking, in a world where people, if it's okay if you don't want to answer this, but in a world where people may be judgmental towards you for having breast implants or eating a diet that is so different, how do you not care what others think and have confidence in your own path? I think that's a good question.
It's an amazing
We all
question.
get judged out there, especially online. And it can be easy to let it affect you and your core and your stomach and your mind, the thoughts, and then derail you off track and become negative. So how do you not do that?
Okay. So really amazing question. So it starts with consciousness and awareness again. And what happens is that the reason people care about what other people think is because there's not a sense of centeredness in yourself. There's not your self-love, self-worth, self-confidence, self-esteem isn't strong. But when that's strong, and when you know, like for me, like we were actually talking about the girls.
Yeah, I was like, they look amazing.
And I listen, I was already like a B. I was like a medium to large B before, but I wanted them. And I've always been happy that I got them. And the only reason I had to get the replacement surgery is because I was in a car accident and it caused them a little bit of problem. So we did that and it was fantastic. But if someone else doesn't like that, that's on them.
It's so true.
That's a reflection of, because either, if it's a woman, she's like, oh, she has breast implants. She either is judging because she secretly wants them, but she's too afraid to go get them, or she's judging me for them for some particular reason. But the thing is, if she's happy, like I have a friend and she looks at mine, she's like, wow, but she's gorgeous. She has this rack of abs. Some of you guys know her from Instagram. Paulina is my friend. And she's like a nice, lovely size A. And she's like, I'm happy with that. And I think you look amazing like that. But she has no judgment with it because she's happy with where she is completely. So if someone, male or female, is saying something about it, it's more on them. And so that would be, I would say, with anything on our body, people have lots of judgments. If you notice, the noisier ones are always the ones with no picture there.
True. That's a fact. That's a fact.
That's usually the case. Not always, but usually. And so the second thing I would say with regard to the food, there's nothing you could ever give me or nothing anybody could ever say to take me off how I nourish my body. Nothing. People can't. I mean, I was bringing my celery and my carrots and my apples for lunch when I was in high school. And the kids.
Oh wait, hold it like this, maybe just in case. I think. Is it okay otherwise? If it's like off. Yeah. Okay, cool.
It's okay.
Cool.
I'll say it.
Okay, cool. Okay. I was just making sure.
No, thank you.
No, sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, we love Elizabeth. We don't want to get to the end of the video and be like, we can't hear what you're saying because your words are just so amazing.
That would be horrible.
And I think everybody just has to do what's right for them, right? Like what makes them happy. And if you're not hurting anybody, then it's like, do what makes you happy.
But the noisier people are, it's because they're not happy here.
Yeah.
So I would say to anybody who's getting that, they're getting that kind of judgy-wudgy, what you do is you just decide, this is what's right for me. And well, again, when you hone your self-love, self-worth, self-confidence, self-esteem, then it doesn't take you off track.
And it doesn't bother you at all?
Oh, God, no.
Good.
You can't imagine. People say everything from you should be ashamed of yourself for dressing like this at my age. You should be ashamed.
Good. They say that? What, online? Obviously online.
Yeah.
Obviously they don't, but they don't walk up to you in person at the gym, right? Like, oh, you should be ashamed of yourself. Imagine.
No, they never say that. But it's funny because this one time I was walking into the gym and these two ladies were there and they were probably in their maybe 50s or something like that. I just turned 60, maybe 61. And I'm walking into the gym and the one goes, you know, she's in her 60s. And the second one says, oh, that's just genetics. And so I literally, it was within earshot, and I literally turned around and went, hi.
Yeah. You did?
I swear to God. I said, hi.
They were probably like, whoa.
I said, it's so lovely to meet you. I'm Elizabeth. I said, trust me when I tell you, because I did them a service by doing it. Trust me when I tell you, this is not genetics. My mother looked amazing, but you should see my father.
And it's a lot of work. You work hard in the gym. I see your reels. You are the fittest person in their 60s I've ever seen.
Fittest person, period.
Yeah, fittest person, period. Because I don't want to be, is that rude if I say that too?
No.
I think maybe some people think it's rude if I say, like, I did a video with Mimi Kirk and she was in her 80s.
Mimi.
And I think I was like, you look great for 83 or whatever it was. And then some people don't like that, which I try and understand. Maybe it is something like we shouldn't say as women. I don't know. What do you think about that? If somebody's like, you look great for 63, is that insulting?
So say that, just go ahead. I know she's not saying this to me, but go ahead. I want you to say it and I'll tell you what I do.
Yeah. Elizabeth, you look amazing for 64.
Thank you so much, beautiful. You know what? I look good for any age.
Yeah, true. And it is true. We should get away from the comparing with the age thing. I think I won't say that anymore. I can kind of understand if people get upset about that.
Well, here's the thing. I do that tongue in cheek when I say, and when the way I say it, you could tell I was tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
And it's also, like, you're right about the comparison. We don't want to compare. It was kind of like, I don't know if we talked about this last time, but we don't want to compare body shapes. Like she's got legs for days. I mean, your legs are
My legs
gorgeous.
are short, actually. I think just you can't tell by the way I dress.
You look like you have really, really, what's your height?
Thanks, 5'7".
Oh,
no, they're short legs. Yeah, but thanks.
Seriously?
You can't tell with the way I dress.
No, you do it. Yeah.
Thanks.
I'm 5'4", so which is why I have the heels on.
I love them. I love heels too.
They're so fabulous, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, it's like they're all different body shapes and sizes, and they're all beautiful.
Yeah.
And the thing is, finding what is your own natural size, shape, and form for you. And once you do that, once you know this is my ideal size, shape, and form, like for me, the weight I am, the height I am, I just grew into it. But the weight I am, the muscle amount I have, the strength I have, that's perfect for me. Like I dated a guy and he was like, I would love you to look like Serena Williams. I said, that's never happening.
Yeah, that's
I can't put that in my, she's gorgeous, or even like J-Lo. Like, I'm not going to put that much mass on me. It's not, it wouldn't be comfortable for my frame.
Yeah.
But you have to be comfortable with you. And if you are, then I could see someone, like you're 5'7", gorgeous legs for days. I'm like, oh my God, you're gorgeous.
Yeah, thanks.
It's the same thing with the hair. Like I'm never going to have that. I wanted this hair growing up. Can I tell you how much I wanted that hair growing up?
Wow.
But when I finally said, this is the hair I have, let me embrace the hair I have, and then let me grow it and make it the way I want it to be, and then style it the way I want to style it, but own what that is.
Yeah.
And when you take ownership of who you are and what it is, then out there everywhere it just gets to be something else beautiful.
And you own the flaws too, right?
Completely.
Like even things you might be insecure about. Like I watch a lot of Aaron Doughty and he talks about like owning the flaws, because he says too, like people feel about you what you feel about you.
Oh,
so if you're walking around and you're like, oh my gosh, my nose is so ugly, I hate my nose, like people like almost think that about your nose then. Oh, what an ugly nose. But it's
because you're wearing it energetically.
We really got to just embrace who we are and live our best life and live how we want to live. And that includes as women as we get older. Like if you want to do work, go for it. If you don't want to do work, don't. Like do what makes you happy.
Do what makes you, and then don't be judgy about other people.
Yeah,
Either do it or don't do it, and then because
I agree.
And can I tell you why?
Yeah.
Mainly for them, because the energy, and I said this last time, the energy of judgment vibrates at a very low frequency. So they're putting themselves in a very low vibe, which isn't a very fun life.
I agree.
Whereas the person who went and had work done or didn't have work done having a fabulous time.
It's so true. It's like Brian Clement I interviewed recently from the Hippocrates Institute.
Oh.
And he was like, people who are whole and complete, they want to uplift the other person.
Completely.
They don't want to bring the other person down in any way. So when people leave negative comments for you online, do you delete? Do you block? Do you fight back? Do you give compassion?
Oh, I send them a blessing.
Yeah.
I don't ever fight back, because that's a pissing match match that, well, you'll never.
Good point. You've tried it before and you're like, this doesn't work.
I don't even, because I know energetically. Because watch,
True.
that energy is vibrating down here. You're vibrating up here. I literally have to go down in the poo that's on the ground to engage in that.
It's true.
And I'm happy up here. Like, I like it here. So and it doesn't.
You belong up here.
Well, everybody naturally is. It's just the noise of the world, or the noise that they get caught in that spirals them down. But watch this. There's one more thing I was going to say about this. The other thing is this frequency up here, even if I engage, so this person, negative comment down here, I'm up here. Even if I engage, because they're vibing here, they don't have the awareness to hear what I'm saying anyway. They won't hear it.
True.
They won't receive it. They won't. So that's why it becomes a pissing match.
So if somebody's like starting out online, or they're just starting to blow up or something, you tell them just to ignore the comments.
What I say is you can send it a blessing, and if it's offensive in any way, I just delete it. I just delete it. And there have been people like, you deleted my comment. I said, well, if you make another one, I'm going to delete it again.
Yeah, I noticed. I've deleted some comments before, and then people have come back, how dare you delete my comment? I'm like, why'd you even come back here to check? That's kind of the weird part. You're coming back here to check. I don't delete comments too often, but when you do, it almost makes them like obsessed with you and want to go like do a bunch of things.
But here's the interesting thing. They're really invested in that negativity.
They are.
So that's why you don't want to be down here. You want to just stay here because you're having a fabulous life, Jill.
So how do we stay up here? I mean, it starts with healthy food too. That's a big part of it. But like, how do we stay up here?
1,000%.
How do we not let the crap affect us and bring us down?
That's the biggest question
of all time.
Well, I'm going to answer it because I know how. At every moment, we have the capacity for choice. It's why choice is the first chapter in my book. So we can either choose to go in this direction, up, or we can choose to go in this direction. And every choice we make that goes in this direction creates another choice, up and up and up and up. But as we make a choice that's not so good, by, let's say, engaging with, it will only turn into something really, really bad if you engage in it. And if you go up here, what happens is that they're vibrating down here. You're vibrating up here, having a fabulous life. If you choose, because here, watch this. There's a reason those comments, they're either really offensive, they're either really hurtful, or they're either really negative. Like it's in some capacity. So it hits us. It's like, ow, wow, that really hit. So then the reaction is to knee-jerk back. But that's where we stop. And this is Dr. Elizabeth's first tip we're going to give today. You're going to stop, put your left hand on your heart, put your right hand on your tummy. This radiates. We take the left hand, which is connected with the heart, put it right back here, right hand here, and you take a breath. Just do it with me one time.
Wow.
Just left hand on the heart, right hand on the tummy. And like one of those yoga breaths where everything expands the rib cage. I'm putting a video on my website so that everybody can have this about proper breathing, where you expand, drop the diaphragm, expand the rib cage.
Yeah.
Not this, not that.
Yeah, I got to work on my breathing. That's important.
In fact, we could do a tiny bit of it in a minute. I would love to do that with you because it will be very helpful for the people listening. But you take one of those breaths, the divine essence comes into us as we do that. From that place, we can reach for something better than, ow, that was really mean. You just kicked me in the leg. You know, you feel like you're on the playground in grade school again, where someone goes, ow, and they kick you, and you're like, ow, that hurts. And you start, fight energy. It's true though, right? But fight energy in any way, shape, or form doesn't give us anything.
True. I love it. Well, someone like you who's so elevated and so conscious, so happy, so much self-love, do you ever just lose it? And is it always rainbows and butterflies? Or do you ever do you ever lash out at somebody and then feel bad? Like sometimes I like lash out at my husband or like have my moments and then I feel bad and I'm like, I still have a long ways to go. But do you ever have that? Or are you just so far elevated like that those emotions don't even happen anymore? The anger and like the...
That would be a question for the Dalai Lama.
Yeah. I think it's natural human emotion too, that we have all the variety of emotions. It's just a matter of which we want to feed more of. And
so the answer to the question, again, it's a brilliant question on your part, is what do we do with that? So what I do, the first thing I do is I use the tools I teach people when I teach them in my intuition class. I teach them, the first thing is the breath, because in the breath comes a miracle. Because now you just took a breath. The whole essence of the divine, and I'm not kidding when I say that, comes into you, floods your whole body. That vibrates here. If someone just pooped on your shoes, that's way down there. So this is the higher frequencies vibrate at such a higher level. So what happens is that all you need is a little bit of that, little dose of that, whoosh, floods your whole body. Take a breath, gain your composure. If you have to, and someone's sitting there and they really hurt your feelings, step aside if you have to. But in the moment, you can do something, and this is really beautiful. You can stand for yourself. You don't be a doormat. You just, bless them, and as they squish on you, no, you just, excuse me. And then you can say your truth. That really hurt me. Because what happens is people lash out of hurt. People are either in pain, it could be something, they could have gotten fired, they could be in the middle of a divorce or something, their kid could be sick. There's so many reasons why they're struggling with something. So if they're, you've heard the phrase, the dad comes home, kicks the mom comes home, and kicks the kids, and the kid kicks the dog. So if someone's kicking you, they've been kicked all the way down the line here. So the best thing to do is you stop, you take a breath, and then in that moment, you can find compassion, but you can also stand for yourself. You can literally say, that's not acceptable for you to speak to me like that.
Yeah.
That's okay. Instead of lashing or swearing, you're getting really mad. And trust me, it's not all rainbows and butterflies. I've had my moments where I get upset. Trust me. But I try to practice this as much as possible. And if I mess up, I'm like, oh, you really messed up, Elizabeth. All right, let's just do a reset. But you don't then beat yourself up, because the energy of self-punishment is really a low vibration energy also.
Very low.
And then it's going to take you more down the whole path of more self-punishment. We don't want that, right? We don't want that energy of self-punishment.
And it's all about like transmuting that energy, right, into something more positive when it comes up.
And that's why shifting. I want to, before we leave the couch and go into the kitchen, I want to teach them a little something on how you can do that.
And maybe that brings us into the next question.
Tell me.
So the next question, somebody says, could she teach or demonstrate how to clear blocked energies? I know she mentioned it once in an interview as a key component. I think that was our interview.
It is.
In our other interview, you talked about, which I'll link below, but you talked about that, clearing energy. So how important is that? And
clearing energy is everything. So clearing energy is a process. What I can do is I can show a couple of little things you can do to help move in the right direction. But one, clearing energy, it depends upon, like I remember I did a whole process with a group of people, and they were all levels of awareness and consciousness. And there was a handful that came up and said, that was the most magnificent thing. Like you would have done that. Like your vibration is so high, you would have been like, whoa. And there were other people that were struggling with whatever they're struggling. And it kind of went in and they thought, oh, that was nice, but they weren't ready for it. They weren't quite at that frequency. So the first thing is having the awareness to see, okay, this is what I want in my life. I'm ready to clear. I'm ready to move forward. Blocks, false beliefs, and negative programs. Everybody has them. We develop them. A lot of the time we develop them. This programming we develop is when we were younger. The energy doesn't belong to us. It never did.
Wow.
It gets thrown into our space. So when we clear it, it's really phenomenal because we can clear it because it never belonged to us to begin with. It was never ours. Someone tossed it into our space. And so when we remove it, it's really, really helpful, which is why I love the work I do with people, because I'm able to go in. So what I do, the false beliefs and negative programming, it's hard just to say, just do this, because they're our blind spot, which is why I do the work I do with people. I'm able to go in, connect with the person's subconscious, and then clear in present time.
Because so we can get negative and like heavy energy through like going through hard times, right? Or trauma or stuff like that.
Or
and
even
then what
just
it can like
life.
block in us and stick in us. Life, just hard.
Just life. Well, especially program we pick up as children that we don't even, that isn't even our frequency, but it gets, all the mindsets that people believe. That's where racism comes from. The horrible racism in our country and other places in the world, it comes from a beautiful child that's born. They don't have any prejudice about another human being at all. They don't come into this lifetime with that. It is fostered by what they hear growing up. So that's a perfect example of someone getting programmed with something that they may not even want. There's a beautiful song. It was one of my favorite songs in the 90s, Seal, performer Seal, Crazy. And he talks about, there's a line in the song, and it says something about the man pointing the gun at the next person, even though they were friends at school.
Wow.
So all of a sudden, like, the two countries go into fighting with each other, but they were friends at school. They have nothing against each other, and yet there they are fighting. It doesn't make any sense. To me, that's the lowest form of consciousness on our planet, is that. But that's programming. We're programmed in so many ways in our society.
Wow. So how do we know if stuff's affected us? Like, when I was a kid, there was this woman who used to watch me, and she wasn't very nice, and she would like chase me around the house with a belt. I'd be like hiding under the dining room table. And then she would go places, and she'd know I want to like play in the backyard, but she'd lock me in the room and be like, "You're staying inside alone all day."
Oh, yeah, that's
and it was like
horrible.
traumatic.
That's
and
really traumatic.
No, it was
I'm
bad.
so sorry.
No, it's okay. Like,
yeah, but
and sometimes I think like, but I know that was wrong looking back at it now. And we all go through stuff, right?
So,
it could have been way worse. I wasn't like molested or abused like that, but I think a lot of things that happened as a kid affected my self-esteem and self-worth. So how do we know what's affecting us? How do we know like these things that have stuck inside us or not?
Another great question. So first of all, I'm sorry that you went through that.
Okay.
And here's the thing. We don't want to measure what happened to us as, oh, that's way worse. Like, my dad only beat me, he didn't sexually molest me. Or my dad didn't beat me, he only just made me feel badly.
True.
They're all unconscious, and they all cause trauma to children growing up. Even the best meaning parents can, do things and they think they're protecting their child, and it still causes it. So it sits in everybody. How we know it's there is a couple of ways. One, you don't feel your best. You don't feel your brightest. Like, even talking about that, you could feel. You even saw I yawned.
Yeah.
Anytime I come up against energy that's heavy or unconscious like that, when I work with my clients, I always say in the beginning, we're going to yawn. Every time I clear the energy, I yawn, and they yawn as well, because that's a part of the clearing process. Sometimes people think, oh, I'm tired, and I'm like, and sometimes if you've gone for 20 hours and you've been going like crazy, you might have to go to sleep. But most of the time people think they're tired. They're not tired. They did just hit some unconscious energy.
Wow.
And all you have to do is clear it. So we have to manage our energy. That's when people say, wow, you have such great energy. I've been in meditation 2 hours this morning.
Oh, wow.
Seriously, I meditate every morning.
Did it take you a long time to get to a place of like being good at meditating where your thoughts aren't going crazy? Because that still happens to me. The thoughts are just going, then I'm like, screw this. I can't sit here. But I want to get there where I'm like, I meditated for 2 hours.
Give me your pink. I will help you.
Because they say once you meditate and you quiet your mind like that, then it leads through your whole day, right? And then if you face obstacles and struggles, you're just so equipped to handle them.
It makes it a million times better. 1,000%. That's 1,000% correct. 1,000% correct. So listen, I'm triple fire for anybody who knows astrology. I'm Aries. My birthday's March 29. Sag moon, Leo rising. I am a trine of fire. I am more fire than most people that I know. I have more energy than an 18.
More energy than my 10-year-old. No, I'm not kidding. May, you better step it up and start eating raw right now. No, like, it's crazy. Sorry, May, I love you.
Oh,
yeah,
we love you.
You look great, and your energy is
but
amazing.
It's the energy. So all that to say, when I first started meditating, it's just like, can I just go play?
Right? How long does it take?
Well, it's not a time thing.
Okay.
Listen to this. I want you to listen. This is a huge, huge, huge thing for you and everybody listening. When we can begin to be happy on the path, which look at you with your channel. Mm-hmm. Like, are you like, when are we going to get to 1 million? When are we going to get to 1 million? You're not saying that, are you?
No, I am. No, I'm kidding. I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm like, No, I'm not at all. I love it, or I would not be doing it.
No.
It's my passion. I spend a lot of money on the channel because I love it.
But and you will get to the million, and you know you're going to get to the million. And once you get to the million, you're going to get to the 3 million very quickly. I can see that.
I'll be happy to get to 100.
But here's the thing.
But no, that's not what I'm thinking. If I was thinking that, it would be the wrong intentions. I do it because I love it.
You love it.
Love
And
it.
You can set the intention. Like, for real, both of us, my intention is to get to 100 on both my channels, both YouTube and Instagram.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with that. But then what you do is we let that go. Then otherwise, if you were in that process where all you wanted was that, you couldn't be present here.
I agree.
You couldn't.
100%.
But here you get to enjoy every delicious moment. You had enjoyed your time with Johnny right before. You're going to enjoy your time with Lou right now. Enjoy your time. You just get to enjoy everything. And then the energy of that, what happens is that the energy of that opens everything up for you. So it's the process. So the hardest part with anything, the hardest part is the beginning. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. I mean, pat little phrases that you see on Instagram, but it's true. If you can it's the same with the very first question. How do you start a raw vegan diet? You start.
Yeah, you start. You go to the store, what looks good, you start.
You just, because it's like that with anything. It's like, how do I, and then what you do, this is really deep, and this is really, I've been really doing this and working on this with my group and my private coaching people. It starts at every moment, right? Like at this moment, like someone there. So let's say whoever is listening right now in this moment, okay, I can choose this. I'm listening to Gillian. I'm listening to Dr. Elizabeth. I could choose this let's say they finished the interview. I could choose to go to bed. I could choose to eat ice cream. I could choose. Mm-hmm. And then again, the false beliefs, the negative programming, the coping mechanisms, all those play into place, which is why that was a complicated question. How can you clear it? It's a process. You have to go through, and I go into find the blind spots, and then we clear. It's what we do in the group. It's what we do in the privates. But it's a process to do that. But you can start with choices. You can start by your choices. I'm going to tell you a fun story, really fun story, that very few people know about me. I was 40, and at the time I was doing a lot of professional dancing and a lot of like commercials and things like that, and a lot of fitness models.
So my age, yeah.
Your age, exactly.
Yeah.
So the call was that, so I was doing, like, I had an agent and everything. The agent called me. The call, like, it's a call sheet that you get. The call for the role was a 20-something, very sexy, dark woman. Like, dark, it wasn't dark. They didn't specify dark skin, dark hair. It was just dark and sexy. 20-something. So my agent's like, I want you to go on this. And I said, did you read the call? And he's like, Elizabeth, just go. I want you to go. And I just heard this little voice, just go. Just go. So I'm driving, and the interview was not too far from here, actually. So it took at the time, it was like a 40-minute drive from where I was coming from. And I was driving the whole time. And it was a very sexy, I had to put the sexy outfit on. And the whole time I'm driving, I'm like, what are you doing, Elizabeth? Like in my mind. But I kept hearing this, my inner guidance, just go. Just go, nudging me on. So by the time I got there, because I dilly-dallied so long.
Nudging me on.
Say it again.
What's that?
Nudging me on.
Oh,
nudging
I thought,
me on.
yeah.
So I get to the audition. I walk in. It was like a room. It was like this size. Walk into the room. And they had seen all the girls. I was like the last girl to be seen. I'm standing there in a bustier with this thigh-high boots, fishnets, and not much else. The call was for a dominatrix for Eminem's video. Real Slim
No
Shady.
way.
Wait. So I walk in, and there's a room full of men. Now they were casting the next role. So I'm standing there half naked, and this guy turns to me and he says, do you want my hat? And I said, that's so lovely of you. I said, but I don't know where I'd put it to really cover anything. So they call me in, and I just said, I heard the voice, and the voice said, just go for it, Elizabeth. And I said, I am going to be ferocious. So I walk in, and it was actually Dr. Dre and Eminem's official director of what was going to be the music video there. He popped his head in. And
wow, and this was 20 years ago. This is crazy. I remember this. Yeah, wow.
So what happens is that I go right into character, and so they said, go ahead, get started. And I looked to the director and I said, give me a chair.
I love it. I could never do that. I love it.
And so he said, so he played along, and he said, and I said, give me a whip. And he goes, I have one in the car for casting. I said, so he literally goes and gets it. So I do this whole thing with the whip and the chair, and I was a dancer. So I do the whole dancing thing. And I left and I said, I don't even care if I get this or not. That was so much fun.
Yeah.
Then I said, what's your name, to the director? And he said his name was Philip. And I said, so I used his name. Oh, Philip, like with the whole thing. I went to town with it. It was hilarious. And so I left and I was like, I don't even care if I got that. That was so fun. It was such a great experience to listen to my inner guidance. My agent calls 15 minutes later. She says, I don't know what you did, but you booked that role. And so if you guys go to Real
Stop it right now. I don't know if we're allowed to play a clip in this video. Are we allowed? Is it copyright?
I don't know.
Yeah, we probably are, because you can play a little bit. Okay, if we can, I gotta pop this up. Stop it right now. So, you were in the Slim Shady video?
I was.
This is legendary.
And here's the crazy part. This was 2000. They filmed it in 2000.
I love it. You filmed it in LA?
We filmed it here in LA in 2000. So 24 years ago. I was just turned 40 at the time. The craziest part, I was in the little thigh-high, total cheeky, which nowadays they would have totally used.
Yeah.
And the producers and the director were standing there saying, we have to cover her. Can I say ass?
Yeah.
Yeah. We have to cover her ass. We can't show, we'll get banned from MTV. So if you see me, I have this sexy outfit on. They have this wig on me. It's really funny. And I'm wearing this mesh skirt because they thought the video would have gotten banned if they showed my behind.
And you got it probably because you just let it go, right? That's how we have to be with things, especially things we really want. Yeah, and lose the attachment.
So the lessons to that are definitely what you said. And also, it is to never limit yourself.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I'm 40. There's no, so what? I'm 64 now and I'm still doing crazy stuff. Like if you never, it's never too late to stop limiting yourself.
I love that.
Because there's amazing things that you can do at any time.
And you're looking forward, right? This is what I love about a lot of the raw vegans I interview in 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, or any age. Everybody's looking forward.
Completely.
And I always say this lately because it's just something that stands out. People aren't looking back. Like those were the good old days in college, or those were this.
No.
Like Karen's opening restaurants at 75. Like people I interview at 92 are flying airplanes. Like everybody's like all these projects on the go. And that's how we need to live our whole life in entirety going forward, right? Not looking back, being present, going forward.
And so when we're clean and clear, remember the last time I talked about Dr. Elizabeth's hierarchy of importance? Like it's the triangle, like Maslow's hierarchy of importance. Food's here. It's imperative. You can't I don't want to say such a limiting thing. Let's just say it this way. It's far easier, one, to keep your body healthy on a 100% plant-based living diet. It's much easier to keep yourself healthy and everything looking and being in place and everything's like that. And then two, then from there, it's you develop your consciousness, you develop your awareness, you watch your mindset. That's so important. It's like,
especially as you get older, right?
Oh my! At every age, what you want to do is you want to really be in the mindset of, like, let's say I started saying this earlier. We're at 0 point infinite possibilities for our lives, right? So at any moment, if someone's watching our video, then they stop, they can choose anything they want. Choose something that's life enhancing. So it starts though with the mind. You have to be able to say to yourself, okay, this is what I'm choosing. I'm going to choose this. We can put our focus and attention on what's right or on what's wrong.
What if somebody's in such a low place though? They're like, oh, I thought I'd be with this person forever. They just broke up with me.
Yes.
Or, oh, I'm going through a scandal online. Or, oh, like something terrible just happened.
Yes.
And they just feel so low. Like, what are the steps to snap out of that?
Well, it's funny because in this moment right now, I'm going through something really, really challenging.
You are?
Really challenging. In this moment. For the last couple of weeks. Really, really challenging. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say, but really, really challenging where I live. And do my legs look okay?
Oh, yeah. You have the legs of a 20-year-old.
Did you get that on camera?
No, I'm going to tell them. Sorry, guys. We just have to pick back up where we are because we had to cut because I'm just filming so many podcasts today. Poor Kevin, his camera's overheating over here.
No, let's tell him why the camera's really overheating.
So much heat up in here, right? Elizabeth is too hot for this camera. But I was just saying her legs, you guys. Your legs look better than me, and I'm 40. Like, what are you doing?
That's not
These
true.
legs. You know what? I'm a sun worshiper, and I spent my whole 20s in the tanning bed. I know. It was horrible, but
when you
I wasn't.
told me that, I was like, oh no,
it's okay.
But she's not doing it anymore.
But these legs, like, that's the thing. People can be like, oh, you have work done, you have your boobs done. They try to discredit everything. You can't buy legs.
You can't buy these legs. You have to earn the.
How do you get these legs?
And
how do they not have any wrinkles? Do you do any? Are there injections on your legs?
No, I don't do injections on my legs. But remember when we were talking about skin, I didn't go in the sun.
What's your background?
I'm Italian.
Huh. Yeah. I'm English. I got screwed there.
But
British skin.
No, I know. My father, okay, so you guys can't see, but see those lights right there? My father is like as white as those lights.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're pretty white in my family too.
There's albino, and click, there's my dad. I'm not kidding you.
Yeah.
And that's why I get the sun intolerance, which I'm working on though. I'm working on healing the sun intolerance.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not quite there. But,
well, I want to pick up. So you were saying you're going through something right now. So I appreciate you coming. A lot of people, they're going through hard times. They might just be like, let me cancel my appointments. So you're not doing that.
Hell no. So here's what I did. I meditated. Shift the energy. Then it's about the choice. Do me a favor. I don't want you're beautiful. Yeah, to fall.
Oh no, it's good.
Okay. Then what it is because yesterday, I'm going to just be real. Yesterday, I was in a lot of fear because there's a lot of things that are on the horizon and it's unknown. I don't know what some of the things that are going to happen. I don't know some of the answers. And so some fear came up in my space. So what I did, because I have the awareness, I went, and so the person who asked, how can you clear the negative energy? The first thing I would say to people, your body, your emotions are the telltale sign. If you don't feel good, like if you're feeling an emotion, it doesn't feel good, something's off. Like I was telling Gillian when I was driving here, I was like a little kid going to meet her best friend. I was so excited. I saw the house and I knew right away this was the house. But
if you're going to a house and you're feeling off about visiting these people, then maybe it's wrong, right?
Or it's, let's say, like when I woke up yesterday, I was feeling fear and uncertainty about what I'm going through. So my awareness, because I have this training, I said, okay, I'm in some fear. I can either make the choice. Remember, choice is part of it. First, I took a breath. Left hand on. So these are the tools. This is how you clear the negative energy. Left hand on the heart, right hand on the tummy. Take a deep breath in. If you notice my shoulders, when I breathe, my shoulders, it's not this.
It's from the diaphragm, right?
Yeah, put your hand right here on my tummy for a second. Do you feel that go out? Put your hand right here. Everything expands. The whole rib cage expands. That drops the diaphragm. That opens up. Now the air can go all the way into the lungs. Mm-hmm. Now we've taken the divine and flooded it all the way into our beingness. That helps calm the fear. And here's the biggest part. The fear, just like the negative energy, doesn't even belong to us. Mm-hmm. It's noise. I call them vicious cycles when I work with my clients. These are vicious cycles. We'll hit something that will send us into fear, and then what happens is that whole thing snowballs. So if we can break the cycle, and that's what I teach people how to do.
Okay, yeah.
Break the cycle. So some of the tips they can use till they start coming to work with me, some of the tips that they can use is they can take a breath. They can make a better thought. They can reach for a higher emotion.
When people work with you, can they do it on Zoom, or they have to do it?
Yeah. Oh, no. I don't work with anybody in person. Okay.
And you don't find it too draining? Like you don't find...
No.
Good.
In fact, one of my really beautiful clients recently, she's like, I don't want it to, she was hysterically crying. She's like, I can't tell you this. It's going to give you all the energy. I said, no, I'm working with the angels. I'm working with the higher beings. I'm completely dialed into source. I put a bubble of light and protection around me, bubble of light and protection around the person I'm working with. All that is done. And then I clear the energy afterwards.
See, yeah. So if we're going through a hard time, we should come to someone like you to clear it rather than go to our friends and bitch and complain. I feel like it's bad to put that out there.
You want to know why?
You can handle it and you can help it.
Not only that, I know what to do, but when you keep talking about it, you perpetuate. So watch this. We're going through, let's just say someone's going through a difficulty. If they keep talking about it, they keep talking about what? The problem. And if you go to a friend, unless it's me, your friend, they're not trained to help you with it. So all you're going to do is then they'll go, oh my God, this happened to me. And then the next thing you know, you're spiraling out on talking about all the negative things happening. All that's done is taken you straight down. Instead, what you do is, oh, my body feels off. I'm feeling fear. I'm feeling something. Or you actually know what it is. Like you're going through a challenge. Like I was saying, I'm going through a challenge right now, and it's a big challenge. And so what you do is in the moment, you use the tools that I'm teaching them, left hand on the heart, right hand on the tummy, take a breath. And then what you do in the moment is instead of, because that breaks the habit. Then what you do is you make the shift and then you just choose something a little bit better. One of the secrets that I do with people and that I tell them to do is if you can find some way to move your body, because the physical movement moves you out of the emotion. Like I always say, if
100%.
Oh my God,
you get out in nature, you go for a walk, and you're feeling terrible. It just I go
salsa dancing, or if there's no salsa dancing in the moment, I'll turn on some music. I'll start dancing. I literally will start dancing. It's like you can't not feel great. That's why people are like, I can't believe you go to the gym so much. I said I would never not go to the gym. Why would I not? It's a great way to clear the energy.
It makes you feel good. Yeah, it clears the energy.
And it clears the energy.
That's like my friend, Metaphysical Megan. I follow her on Instagram. And her story today, she was like feeling depressed. 10,000 steps will fix that. Like I think she was feeling down, and then she posted how she did her 10,000 steps that day.
That's exactly
right. And she's like, it's really hard to feel down when you're doing 10,000 steps.
Exactly.
Or whatever.
Then someone's going to say to you, well, then the problem's still there. I said, but no, Einstein says you can never solve the problem from the level of the problem. And this is why. You can solve the level from the place of the solution. You could raise the frequency. So when you raise your frequency up, now from this elevated state, I call it the mountaintop consciousness, from that state, then ideas come to you. Oh, maybe I should start a YouTube channel. Same thing with me. My mom just died. My mom, who was my best friend in the whole world, had just died.
Your mom just died?
Not in 2017.
Oh, yeah.
When I had 100 followers.
Yeah.
In 2017, I had 100 followers, and my mom passed away, and I had gone to stay with her. I made her a promise. I made her a vow. We were so close. I said, I will be with you till you take your last breath. And I never left the hospital. Like my sister's like, you stink. You have to go home and take a shower. But other than that, I didn't leave. I didn't leave her side the whole time. And so I came back and I said, okay. And I remember she came to me in dream state and she's like, go back to your YouTube channel.
Wow.
And I started, and from that place, everything I grew really, really quickly. So you can put your attention on what you want instead of what you don't want. Mm-hmm. And that shifts everything. And that's how we begin. And listen, Rome isn't built in a day. We do this step by step. But as you do this step, remember I said we're right here, and then we can either circle up or we can circle down. So if you make a life-enhancing choice, now you make another one, now another one. Before you know it,
exactly.
Then what happens? So I was going back to you. You start your YouTube channel. Look at all the amazing people you got to meet. Look at the experiences. Mm-hmm. Look at all the growth. Look at all the excitement. Look at how healthy and beautiful you look. Like,
thanks.
All that happened because you said, "Let me start this."
You know what? And to be honest, a lot of it happened and stemmed from trauma.
Exactly.
I went through a lot of trauma in 2020, and I've never talked about it on the channel. I don't know if I might cut this out, but I don't know. And I feel like recently I really got over it through doing hypnosis. Do you do hypnosis, or have you done hypnosis,
the work
or no?
that I do
is like that, right?
It's a deeper version of hypnosis. So because hypnosis, what you do is you go in and it's nice to clear. It's nice to go in there and you shift some ideas and things like this. This actually takes the energy out.
Wow.
So whatever that trauma that's sitting in you, like I work with a lot of people who've had trauma, whatever trauma is sitting in there, I can clairvoyantly see it. I can intuitively, because some people get freaked out. Clairvoyant just means clear seeing. That's all it means. So it's the next level. So we go in and we actually clear it out. So there's no stick anymore.
Okay, I need to do that with you. We got to do it. I'm going to hire you. We got to do it. I want to clear everything out. All the trauma. I've been through a lot of shit. I was never raped and I was never sexually abused. So thank God. And I was never held at gunpoint or a lot of bad things that could happen. Mm-hmm. But a lot of shit has happened and it would be nice to clear it.
It'd be really nice to clear it. It's really, really powerful. And when we clear it, it gives you tremendous freedom.
Yeah.
Tremendous freedom.
And that's how we want to feel as human. We want to feel free.
That's the whole, what I say with my work, what I do, is I'm able to go in and we clear the false beliefs, the negative programming, we clear the coping mechanisms, which the false beliefs, the negative programming, and the trauma cause the coping mechanisms. Mm-hmm. We clear all that out of your space, and what results is tremendous freedom, tremendous, you begin to have tremendous success, you have happiness, and you just have this capacity to be free. And it's amazing.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. And okay, somebody said, and you guys do it too. I'll put your stuff on.
Oh,
because you're so
please,
powerful.
please.
Even in person, your energy is even like 10 times more powerful than through the screen, and you're so amazing. So, somebody said I watched her videos years ago, and she has done a video on her channel explaining her decision to use hormone replacement therapy.
Oh, that's a good one.
I like to know if she's still using it. And then somebody was asking how you feel about hormone therapy in general. I don't know much about that at all. So so when people go through menopause and stuff, is that when they start taking it?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So hormone replacement there. So what happens with menopause, and there's a lot cutting edge, they're working on the physical body so that it doesn't begin to deplete the sex hormones. Because what it is, it's the loss of all the sex hormones in the body. So what happens is that hormone replacement therapy naturally replaces the hormones that have been depleted in the body. So first of all, in my book, I talk about the menopause monster.
Yeah.
She's a real
menopause monster.
She's a real bitch with a grudge. Let me tell you, she's a real bitch with a grudge. And it's really like, for me, it hit me like a ton of bricks because my mom had a hysterectomy. So I didn't, and all my friends are like your age in 20s, 30s, 40s. Like I didn't have any experience with anybody having gone through menopause at all. And so when it hit me, one, it hit me like a ton of bricks. And two, it really messed with my body a lot. And so a friend of mine who he's the one that brought me, his name's Norman. He's the one that introduced me to raw vegan. And he's amazing. He's 80 something and he plays basketball with the 25-year-olds in the courts in Venice Beach right down the street.
I love it.
He's amazing.
That's awesome. I gotta meet this guy. Bring him on.
He's amazing. He's amazing.
Sounds like a legend.
He's a legend. He's really phenomenal. So he was telling me about hormone replacement therapy. They naturally do. It's naturally replacing it. So I don't know why. Well, I do know why. There's a lot of controversy with it. And the reason is because there were studies before saying that it causes some problems. But the truth is, when it's done properly, when you balance all your hormones and you put them back to the level that they're supposed to be at, it's amazing. My body has not skipped a beat since of it. I swear by it. But every woman and man, because men can do it.
Does it have side effects?
No. No, it's all natural.
That's great.
It's all natural. They're replacing all of the estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. They replace the production of that naturally in the body. So your body just feels amazing.
Good.
Yeah, and we can also talk for a minute about peptides are amazing too.
Yeah.
Peptides are incredible. Peptides are amino acids, and they're very cutting edge in Europe, but they're becoming more cutting edge.
Like collagen peptides, or is that different?
What I'm talking about isn't collagen peptides, but they're just amino acids, and there's a bunch of different ones, and you take the peptides, and it also is very it's very life enhancing for the body. I'll say it that way. So to answer to the person, every person, woman or man, has to make their own decision. But I would say go to a specialist who is an expert in bioidentical hormones.
Okay, you know it all in here. So I gotta figure out. So when I am going through menopause, I'm 41 almost. When is it gonna happen?
It's different for everybody.
Okay.
It hit me at like late 40s, almost 50.
And you were raw vegan. Some raw vegans say, "Oh, I didn't even have bad menopause." Did you?
I was already raw vegan, and it did hit me like a ton of bricks. So, and that's the thing. I really want to talk about this. I think we want to stop shaming people for the way to do things.
Yeah.
Because everybody's body is different. It'd be like if someone shaved me because my skin didn't look as good. In fact, someone did this. Someone shaved me on one of the videos saying I didn't look as good as when she's gorgeous. Annette Larkin, I think her name is. She's gorgeous, and she's got gorgeous, beautiful skin. And they said, you don't look good. And it's like,
yeah.
It's just like,
no, stop shaming. It's like I just breastfed till she's 4.5, but I respect if somebody can't or doesn't want to breastfeed at all.
Exactly.
Do what's right for you.
Do whatever is right for you. It doesn't matter. And it's the same thing. Every physical body is different also. The way we process things, the way we manage things, all of it is different. So we want to I would say, as much as possible, really tune into your own intuition. And the more you've developed your own intuition, the more you can get your answers. It's that little voice I call it, your inner knowing, inner guidance, inner wisdom, your intuition. When you hone that, then someone could say, oh, this is good for me. You can go explore it, but maybe it's not. It's just like we were talking about with Miami. Like Kevin and I are going to Miami. We're going to have ourselves a great time. Now, when you come with me, you might have a very different experience, but everybody resonates differently with different places in the world. Like I have a friend and they want to be in Iceland. And I'm like, you can have at it. I was born in Alaska, raised in Wisconsin. I'm never being that cold ever again. You can go for that. I don't want a part of that. No, I'm going to Tahiti. I'm going to a tropical island.
Yeah, or here. It's pretty nice here.
It's pretty nice here. Yeah.
And I just want to say, okay, you have the boobs, you have the legs, you have the body which you work hard for in the gym.
Thank you.
You can't buy this body, like the body, like the. I see you work and work and work and work.
You can't buy the muscles.
You look amazing, but I want to tell you, like your true beauty, like your soul shines. No, I'm serious. Like, I don't even see how you look. Like, it's so strong and so powerful. And such a...
That's the most beautiful
compliment. One of the greatest energies I think I've ever been around.
Thank you.
I mean it. Oh. Yeah.
That brings tears to my eyes. That's the most beautiful... Out of anything anybody can ever say to anybody, that's the most beautiful thing you can say.
Thanks. It's true. Yeah, you're welcome.
I feel the exact same way about you.
Thanks.
Yeah, your inner beauty. You're gorgeous. I mean, she's gorgeous.
Well, thanks, guys. The next question is, I'd like to hear her speak on ginger. She said in the last video she consumes a lot of ginger, and she could talk about it for a while. I have a ginger shot here. Should we do it?
Oh, I love ginger.
I'd love to hear what she has to say about it.
Okay, so I love ginger. Ginger is amazing. I think it's one of my biggest superfoods. I brought a little pile of stuff when we play in the kitchen, but it's one of my biggest superfoods. So first, it's antiemetic, which means it's anti-nausea. So it's great. Most people don't know that about it.
They think it would cause, yeah,
but it actually calms your tummy.
Ginger ale, right?
Exactly, but that's like not so healthy. But like a real like a ginger, like something with ginger really calms you down. The reason I love it so much is because it's phenomenal for boosting the immune system. And knock on wood, I can't remember the last time that I wasn't feeling amazing. Amazing. Like I just feel amazing. I'm not even going to say the other word, but I feel amazing. And I know it's because of, I know it's the energy. I know it's the mindset. I know it's what I'm eating. I know it's all of that. So that's, and if you Google ginger, there's tons of information on all. It does a lot of wonderful things, but those are the two top things for me. And mainly it's boosting your immune system. Oh, real quickly, I'll share this. If somebody's trying to kick the coffee habit, because coffee, we've talked about.
A lot of people are on this channel. I used to love coffee too. And
it's not good. Don't you feel better without it?
I'm way better without it, but I used to love it.
Yeah, I never drink it. I told you I never drank a cup of coffee in my life. Ever. I was just
Have you ever smoked a cigarette?
No.
Me too. I never had one drag.
Never. I actually had to hold a cigarette in acting class when I was acting. I had to hold a cigarette for a scene, and that was it. But no, like why? Like you can see that doesn't vibrate with what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But if people are looking to kick the coffee habit, I would highly suggest doing ginger juices, like putting good green juice, but put a healthy amount of ginger in it, because the kick of the ginger mimics the kick of the coffee. Plus, you don't spike. Instead, you just have that gradual feeling good.
And what do you think about ginger shots? Is that too much, too intense for a body? Better just putting it in the juice, right?
I think if someone's, for me and you, for you and I, no, it's great.
Yeah.
But if someone's just starting out, for sure.
Yeah.
It might turn them off to everything and be like, no.
No, I make this juice. You got to try it. It's like 6 to 8 Granny Smith apples, a huge handful of ginger, and 2 lemons.
Yum. It's insane. I love juices.
It's so good. Okay, the next one is, I'd like to know what she does for her skin routine. I use a mild abrasive on my skin and then coconut oil to moisturize.
See, with skin, it depends upon, like we were talking, you have English skin. It depends upon what kind of skin you have. It depends upon whether your skin's oily, whether your skin's dry. The number one thing I would say is be smart about the sun. That's the biggest thing. And I dream of the day when they've come up with something that you can put on that chemically conducts with the skin and the sun, and literally the sun enhances your skin. Like, how amazing would that be?
So these are like legs that stayed out of the sun too, right? Like that's
these are legs these are legs that have
some sun, right? We talked about that in our video. Like, how much sun do you get? Do you go in the sun ever?
I really will. Now I'm working with my doctor, and he's working with me on using it's a peptide that stimulates the production, of melanin in your body,
cool.
Which will protect my skin, which will hopefully help with the sun insensitivity.
Yeah.
So sun sensitivity, causing me to be not sensitive. So we're working on that right now. I haven't tested it fully yet, but it is better. Like my skin was so sensitive to the sun. If I was driving in the car and the sun was coming in, it was burning my skin.
Wow.
Like it was like, ow, ow, ow. It was that bad because I hadn't been out in the sun in so long. Mm-hmm. So now it doesn't do that with this peptide that I'm on, which is amazing. Mm-hmm. So I would say avoid the sun during its peak hours. I would say for sure do that.
Like during like 12 and 3 or 12 and 2 or whatever.
12 to 3, 11 to 2, 12 to 3. Those are like, and also we talked about this last time. The sun in Canada and the sun in Alaska is not the same as the sun in Costa Rica.
And we don't get sun.
Or Ecuador.
We don't get sun for most of the year. So it's like sometimes I just feel the need to bake out in the summer.
It's okay, but put your sunscreen on.
Vitamin D.
Just put your sunscreen on.
Do you take vitamin D supplements?
I do.
No?
I do. I do a liquid, and I also do a really wonderful calcium and magnesium.
And people were asking last time what that sunscreen is that you use, the natural one. So if you know it, I'll link it below.
Perfect. Yes. It's amazing, Cyan.
I was going to say, people ask me all the time, what's your skincare routine?
We have beautiful skin.
I never used to have good skin. It was like, it would, especially on my back, break out. It's the foods. I'm like, what, am I going to come on here and promote a product? Like, it's the foods. Sometimes I get my makeup done. I take it off. Otherwise, I just don't wear anything. I don't have any special lotions. It's the foods from the inside.
I have no makeup. I have mascara and lip stuff. I have no skin makeup on.
Yeah.
And you probably don't either, do you?
No, I have a little bit on today.
Yeah. I never wear skin makeup.
Wow, really?
Yeah, ever.
Amazing.
Ever.
I don't very often.
Yeah.
But I do sometimes. Sometimes when I'm filming, or it depends.
Little bit.
Yeah.
Little bit.
No, you don't need it.
You don't either. You're gorgeous.
Well, thanks. The next one is, where is it? Okay, this person said, I just end up cooking some beans, vegetables, and potatoes. Like, I don't know how to physically just stick to raw.
Yeah.
That was a comment that somebody posted under questions for you. They didn't, but I turned it into a question because that's so common. People are like, I need more food. I'm not full. Like, what's the deal? So how do they do it?
Well, here's the thing. Let's talk for a second about full. If someone doesn't feel full, where are you not full in other areas of your life? Where are you not fulfilled, filled, full?
Whoa.
Ding, 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 in other areas of your life. Mm-hmm. I have to get more food to feel full. The whole purpose of food and eating food is to nourish the cells, the beautiful cells of the body. It is not to get full. We are programmed as children. Eat all that food eat the food on your table. There's starving children over in Africa. Eat everything. They're forced to eat, and I don't think that's healthy to force kids to eat because it teaches them to overeat. One of the most unhealthy habits is overeating. So what happens is now, we're talking about programming. That child has been programmed that full is a good feeling. I have to feel full, especially if they don't feel fulfilled in other areas of their life. Let's say their relationship isn't fulfilling, career isn't fulfilling, their money isn't fulfilling, their health isn't fulfilling. And so they don't feel fulfilled, so they have to feel full. I don't ever want to feel full.
That's a good point.
Now when I'm eating the way somebody's charging their Tesla. I'm going to plug that puppy in and I'm going to just get all the energy I can. I don't have a Tesla right now. My car, I call her Bella. She's right out there. She's a beautiful little white car. She's a little beautiful Mercedes. Yeah. She's a 2002, so just like her mama, she looks really good for her age. Yeah.
That's amazing. I love it.
I've had her for forever, and I take good care of her. And
I love that.
My next car probably will be an electric car, but
I've been Ubering everywhere in LA because it's just easier. I thought about renting a car, and then it just didn't work out. But I've been taking Teslas because I like to select the green. I like to take the Teslas. And they're a nice car. And then I just learned when I was here that when you get an electric car in the States, the government gives you like $9,000.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then in Canada, they give you $4,000. That's what he said. I don't know. He said $9,000, right?
Yeah. Also, you get to drive in the
other lane.
Commuter lane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which you guys are 2 already. You can do that.
Yeah. They say everything's going electric. Like they tell us in Canada, there won't be gas stations in 10 years. I don't know about that.
Well, it's interesting. I know the guy who, my very dear friend, he's my healer, knows very well the guy who killed the electric car, which is a really powerful documentary film, way back. And my girlfriend, they were my two girlfriends, they were a beautiful couple. They had an electric car back in like 2004, 2005. And on the side, it said gas prices, $5, $6, $7 a gallon, ... question. It's a reality. And everybody laughed at them at the time. And they were smart because they bought their car. Do you know they took those cars, the people who leased them, they took them and destroyed them. They show it in the documentary film.
No way.
Yeah. I should be careful. But I saw the documentary film and they did show it. So
interesting.
Don't come back at me yet.
Well, no.
But so wait, we were talking
high
about
vibe, anything to come back at you. Yeah. So a lot of people saying like, I don't know how to stick to it, right? But that's good what you said about the full. I love that.
And also when we're in the kitchen, what we'll do. Yeah. So look at other. So first of all, if you feel the need to be full, because watch, if somebody eats till they're full, the feeling of feeling full. They've overeaten because the sensors in the stomach, which registers being full, don't kick in for 20 minutes. Now they kick in. Now you're what's called overfull.
I got to start doing that. I eat too much sometimes. Yeah.
And then what happens is you sit on the couch and you're like...
You don't feel as good. And it affects you mentally too. You don't feel happy.
You feel foggy. You feel... So full
Even
isn't...
with the real foods.
Even with the real foods. I never overeat, and that's one of my secrets. I never overeat. I eat a little bit, and I'm good. Eat a little, and then I'm good.
And we're gonna find out your aging secrets too. We're doing a video. 2 raw vegans that look 20 years younger.
So fun.
Elizabeth and Shane. So stay tuned. If that's up, I'll put it below. Otherwise, subscribe for that.
Oh, we're gonna have fun.
But okay, awesome. And then this one is ask her about wrinkles and sagging. My neck is starting to sag. I feel like mine is a bit too at 40, but maybe it's all the tanning beds. My neck, I don't do them anymore. Starting to sag, and I'm seeing wrinkles at my outer eyes. I don't want to get surgery. How does she keep her skin so firm looking? Okay.
Well, thank you for the compliment. It's not... I think my skin is okay. I think a lot of it was staying out of the sun.
Yeah.
So let's see. What would I attribute it to? I'm telling you, a lot of it is energy. Also, I would say protecting your skin is really important. The foods that you eat is really important. And also, I have a very dear friend. He was the person who licensed skin treatments, lasers, things like that. Like not like the big ones where you're blown out for like a long time.
Yeah.
But like light things, I have no problems with those kinds of things. I haven't done anything in a really, really, really long time, but I'm going to be playing with my one friend. She's a surgeon and she's amazing and she's going to try something on me. We're going to test one area of my body, another area of my body. We're going to see, and we're going to see what gets the better result. I'm going to be your guinea pig. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. People have a lot of judgments. I think there are so many things we can do to stay looking youthful. And I think that for me, I think the reason the skin on my body looks, if someone says it looks good, thank you. I think it could look better, but I think that it's pretty good for 64.
Yeah.
It's pretty good for 64. And I think a lot of it is because I wasn't in the sun, but a lot of it also is, I think that keeping yourself healthy, working out, all of that is really important because I see girls who are really skinny, but they don't work out and the skin just hangs kind of on like that muscle. Like you can't get that surgically. I guess you could get a bicep implant.
Well, true. I think don't people get ab implants or chest pecs?
Really?
I think I heard. Kevin,
calf. They can do calf implants. I do
guys ever do chest pec implants? See,
you can?
You can do anything these days.
So I guess you can. I don't have any like muscle implants. I really don't.
I think as we get older too, it just brings me back. Like, do what you want to do, right? And realize you're not going to win either way online because it's like I don't do Botox or anything right now, and I don't think I will, but I don't know. And then people might be like, "Oh, you look older," but then if you get Botox, they're like, "Oh, you get Botox." So like either way, you can't win. There's so much pressure on us women too. I feel like now that I'm like almost 41, it's like.
But with the radiance, it makes a big difference.
True. It's the inside, you know?
So if I'm going to tell you, full disclosure, if I could use Botox, I would.
You don't use it?
I don't use it.
Wow.
I don't use it.
Why can't you? Allergic?
Because I'm not allergic to it, but I had a bad experience with it. The injectors, it's not something you want to mess around with. And I don't want to scare people. It's wonderful. You could, if anybody wants to listen, Botox used to be used by physicians, not plastic surgeons, but physicians for purposes like TMJ and things like that.
I used to get it in my 20s because when I was young, I used to have a lot of anxiety and I would sweat a lot.
Exactly.
Not now since being raw.
Isn't that interesting?
And they were like, we're going to inject it under your arms.
Yeah.
No, I swear to God. And it was covered under the insurance. Otherwise, it would have been like $1,200 a pop, I think.
Oh, yeah. No, it's very expensive.
So I don't get Botox in my body. I'm not against it. A lot of my friends back in Toronto get it. Like I said, I don't judge. I don't know if I ever will. Maybe like I'm starting to see some wrinkles, but I don't know. But yeah, I used to get it under the arms and it worked for that.
Here's the thing. It depends on your skin type. There's some, like our friend over here, Kevin, our very handsome camera guy.
Yeah.
Has this gorgeous skin that Gillian and I would die for. Gorgeous.
Pretty much.
He will never see a wrinkle. Any day, your whole life, you won't see a wrinkle. No.
Is your dad wrinkled? Your dad's my age, right? My camera guy. I'm his parents' age, which is crazy. He doesn't have any wrinkles?
No
wow.
Wrinkles. You can wrinkle up your forehead, but all of us can do that. But he will never get a wrinkle.
No, and you better watch out. We start getting wrinkles and it's the raw foods.
I know.
It's the vegan diet. They're shriveling up.
One has nothing to do with the other. Same thing with teeth. One has nothing to do with the other. But with regard to the Botox, listen, with my skin type, with our skin type, to do a little Botox, there's nothing wrong with it. Mm-hmm. It's great. You put a little bit in and there's literally nothing wrong with it. I have no problem with it.
What is in Botox?
It's a neuromuscle toxin. So what it does, it causes the muscle not to fire in the area.
It's not a very good name. Toxin.
I know.
Neuromuscle toxin.
I know, but there's a lot of things that aren't.
Imagine somebody could come up with something is it very natural? Somebody could come up with something that's like so natural and work, they'd sell so many.
There's so much out there that like there's some poisons that are natural. So you don't, just because something's natural doesn't mean we should take it.
Sure, yeah, and put it inside.
And it's just something, because there are a lot of poisons that if you took it, you would die. They're natural, but you would die. Mm-hmm. So I think it goes back to, it's a personal choice. If I could, I would, and I would have no problem with it. I haven't done any filler. I used to do filler. I did a little bit of filler, and I really liked it. I thought it was nice, but I haven't done any now. I know people think that I've done it, and I think maybe we'll talk more. Well, this will be, if you want to hear the story of what I'm going to say next, you have to come to our next video.
Yeah, we have a lot of good videos. I guess we'll have to cut ourselves off because we could talk all day.
For forever. But I'm going to share a story about my face, and it's a very powerful story. And I will do that when we talk about.
We're doing a specific aging video and a sex and relationships video. And we're doing a sex,
So we're doing all about sex and love and intimate relationships, which will be really, really good. And I'm also going to share more about that. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Yeah, I guess I could honestly talk all day. You're so amazing to talk to.
So are you.
And I'm just so present with you. You have such good energy. You're so magnetic. It's been amazing. And you're a favorite on this channel. Everybody go show Elizabeth some love in the comments down below because she's incredible.
Please come say hi. And come say hi to me on Instagram. And I am promising I'm going to come back.
Good.
And
to
you know
YouTube.
What? With your permission, can I post our video?
Of course. Yeah.
That'll be my debut back.
Amazing. I love it.
I would love that.
I love that.
Yes.
You have such nice hands. That sounds creepy. I feel like saying that to another woman. Your hands are so nice, but they are. They're so beautiful.
Thank you.
People are probably sick of us being like, you're beautiful. You're beautiful.
No.
Sorry, guys.
I'm going to say this real quickly. When you can see the beauty in somebody
Camera's going to overheat again. Yeah.
Kevin's over there going,
sorry, go ahead. When you can see the beauty in someone else. We're going to have to put the camera in the fridge again. Too many videos going on here now.
I'm having so much fun.
I'm joking. Kevin's like, I'm cutting that out. Nobody knows my camera goes in the fridge, Jill. This is professional. Okay, when you can see the beauty in somebody.
When you see the beauty, when you first can see the beauty in yourself, and I don't mean like in like selfie, pose, and that's fine. But I don't mean that. I just mean like I'm happy with who I am. I'm happy with like
self-love,
inner being, the self-love, all that self-worth. Then you can look around and you see everybody else and like, wow, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. You can see it in other people. And that's really, really, really powerful.
That's true.
So, yes, come say hi. I would love. Oh, you know what? More people came back to my channel.
Good.
After we did our interview.
Good.
I was so happy.
I'm so glad. Good.
But I have to tell you guys, when I see your comments, it breaks my heart. Like I was crying.
Elizabeth was big on YouTube. Some of your videos have millions of views, right?
I have a couple videos that have 1 million.
And
views,
I see you roller skating around, making your green juice. Like you're so entertaining. And then you just vanished, right?
I did right around 2020. I started doing just lies, but nobody really liked. They weren't having it. They were.
live on YouTube?
Well, you know,
They weren't having it?
They weren't you know why? I had spoiled them. I was standing on my head. I was running around the beach. I was doing all these
And then you were just sitting there on Zoom and they weren't
having that. They're like, you can't just talk to us. You have to entertain us. Chop, do something.
So then what? You were like, I'm out of here?
Well, no, I didn't have, I think I might have told you at the time I didn't have an editor. Okay, you'll understand this. I didn't have anybody to film me. When I had someone to film me, it's really easy because you understand that.
Yeah, I couldn't do all this alone.
I was editing those videos myself, Gillian.
I've never edited one of my videos on my channel.
When
so
you
if I
said
can make
that,
it this far, you can too.
So
I don't know how to edit
jealous.
one word out of a video.
Oh my God. It was taking me 25 hours, literally 25 hours of sitting there. And it was fun because I was like, oh, let me cut it here. Let me do it. But it was too much. And then my private practice took off during quarantine. My private practice started booming because people were so scared. So I was like, come talk to me. So they all did. And it was great. And I started coaching a lot more. And so I just couldn't go back to it. But I love all of you guys on Gillian's channel, on my channel, on my Instagram. I love you guys. And I am coming back.
Good.
Come back, yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. So
That'd
go
be-
subscribe. I love your channel.
Please, thank you.
And watch her videos she has already and watch her new videos. And
Yeah,
go follow
and go on
Elizabeth on Instagram. Go hire her for releasing all that
Yes.
stress and energy in your body. Live a better life. Go follow Elizabeth. Go buy her books and everything. Subscribe to the channel if you don't already. We love you. And she's a great collaborator. One of our favorites.
Yes.
She'll be back soon. And sorry, I'm losing my voice, guys. It's been a lot of podcasts lately. But we're in it to win it. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Love you guys. Ciao.